What's up, everybody? I'm back. I put a poll on my Instagram whether I should do this video in English or Portuguese with the subtitles on the other language, and then I decided to do it in English just because it was the majority of the votes, like things like 80%. So I'm gonna do it in English. So if you're Brazilian and you're watching it, just nothing new to you when you go to the movies and you have to watch like subtitles. You'll be the same as usual. So I've been meaning to do this video since I got back from Pans. Really, it's just been a crazy week with me getting sick and moving. Only good things besides getting sick, but it's still pretty hectic. So today was the first day that I had somewhat free time in between classes that I didn't have to work. So I'm using that time to make the video. So this is it. Pan Am silver medalist, my third IBJJF Grand Slam medal since I got my black belt. 3 Pan Am's medals too, 2023 and 2025, the bronze medals for Gi Pan Am's, and then this one is No-Gi Pan Am's. I'm very happy. First final at IBJJF Grand Slam, and man, I felt very, very, very good at this tournament. I was like 100% sure that I was gonna win. And it's crazy because I feel that now I'm at the level that I'm at the same level as everybody else. I've been feeling like that for a while already. I don't feel there's anybody else better or worse than me when you talk about the best guys in the world. I'm among all of them. It just comes to like performing and showing on the day off, and whoever's gonna make less mistakes, whoever's gonna perform better, and whoever's gonna be better on the day off. And then this year has been like pretty difficult for me. I've been having like inconsistent performances, or I've been underperforming, let's put it like this. I'm not performing at the level or at the intensity that I like to, even though I got some good results. So this tournament was a tournament that I was, with the right mindset, feeling good, and I was able to show a little bit of what I've been working on, and and I made it to the finals. And even on the finals, I was 100% sure I was gonna win. If I had $1,000 to bet, I would bet $1,000 on the spot that I was gonna win by submission, by leg lock. But it didn't work out. You know what I mean? A minute and a half left, or 2 minutes left. I think I made like a half a second mistake. I got my guard pass, head to turtle, got choked out. But anyway, this tournament, even though I didn't win, and even though I'm frustrated, there are a lot of things that happen, especially before the tournament, leading up to it, that they motivated me to make this video that I feel that I gotta share. So first things first. So like I said, this year I've been very inconsistent. I haven't been able to have like a performance that I feel like very proud of myself since Orange County, really, which was the second tournament that I competed, the first one in the Gi. So Orange County, I felt very good. I felt confident. I was able to win double gold, closing out the open class finals. I felt great, right? I don't think I got a point scored on me in Orange County, so I felt great. But on Pan Am's, which I made another video, I felt a lot of pressure leading up to it. For whatever reason, I felt very pressure, felt weird. I don't know if I said on the other video, but I even have like a small anxiety crisis the night before my quarterfinals match. I was feeling like I was freaking out. And then awards, I got hurt, and then awards, I also had like a bad performance. On my first fight, I won by ref's decision, but I wasn't able to get my game going against Adam. I was feeling very good, but then I got caught on his butterfly, and then it just kind of goes downhill from there. I didn't compete at nationals because I broke my foot, I broke my big toe awards, so I didn't compete at nationals. Then my next tournament was Jiu-Jitsu Con, I think. And then I lost Jiu-Jitsu Con too, first round. On my weight division on the open class. Weight division I lost by ref's decision against a tough guy. I think he won brown belt awards this year at heavyweight. And then at the open class I was winning, I made a mistake, I got caught, and I also hurt my foot. So it's been a pretty like hectic month for me. It's been pretty intense, pretty bad. Hectic year actually, So I was ready to sign up for Nogi Pans, my sponsor, Bighorn Athletics. They pay for my tournament fee, right? So I was ready to sign up, and then afterwards, actually, I was like, man, I made a decision. I talked to my my sports psychologist Carlos and my trainer Bruno, and we made a decision on what we're gonna do for the second semester. And I made a decision to prioritize my gi tournaments for this next season of 2026. So I wanted to be as ready as I could to hit the Grand Slam next year in 2026. So Europeans, Pans again, Brazilian Nationals for like after 10 years, last 4 Brazilian Nationals, and then Worlds. So I wanted to hit all these 4 tournaments next year. And in order for that to happen, I need to train in the gi for the most part. So my priority now is training in the gi, and instead of doing like a gi season or no gi season like I did every year, I've been just like training in the gi full time, so I can be as ready as I can next year. And then I would do like mini camps leading up to these tournaments like Nogi Pans and Nogi Worlds. But so my goal was not even fight at Nogi Worlds. Since I was gonna focus on Europeans, I was not even gonna fight at Nogi Worlds. The only Nogi tournament that I would do would be like Phoenix Open, which I did and won, and then obviously Nogi Pans, right? And I was signed up for Nogi Pans, and I was like, man, I'm ready to go. Let's go. But I got hurt, so I'm like, this kind of sucks, so I can't really train, right? And then as I was like taping my foot up and trying to train, still very limited, I saw the tournament was going to be in New York City, which was good, but then I had like a very expensive flight and very expensive hotel, and then the expenses on this tournament were like massive, right? So I'm like, man, I don't know if I can make it, but I'm still saving up money and using my private class money and, just saving up money so I can go and compete. But I had this like 2 very important things happen, that financial obstacles happen that I needed to take care of. So I had to, my wife's car broke down, so I had to replace her bumper. I ended up moving, like I said in the beginning of the video, and we got a very good deal on a new apartment, but, I had to come up with like, $800 or more, I think, of fees. So on the end of the day, I'm like, I have to spend about like $1,500 of, money that I didn't have, and go to New York City, right? So I'm like, man, I can't have it. These things are too important, and I can't have it all. So, it is what it is. I'm probably not gonna go. But I had an opportunity to make use of my faith, and I'm like, man, you know what? I'm gonna train like I am competing, even though there's not a single chance that I can make it. I'm gonna do everything that I can to come up with the money, maybe try to sell some privates, maybe try to book a seminar, work DoorDash, which I did, but it was not enough to come up with the money. But I'll do anything that I can to come up with the money for all these expenses first, which I was confident I was gonna do for the expenses first. And then for New York City, for the flight and the hotel. And I'm like, man, I'll try. And I was really trying. I was working Sunday to Sunday. Like I said, I was doing DoorDash, just trying to sell privates. But at the time I was wrong, nothing was working really. My private students, they were not able to do the class. I wasn't able to sell more. DoorDash was good. It helped me pay for these bills, but it didn't really, help me, much after that. I had other investments too that I'm collecting money from, but still not enough, right? So I'm talking to my wife, and every time we talk about like the first weekend of October, I'm like, yeah, I'll be in New York City. And she has to remind me like, hey, you won't. Remember, there's no way. And I'm like, yeah, that's right, man. It's just so automatic because in my mind I was convicted that I was gonna go. And I was training every day like I was gonna compete, even though I wasn't. I'm like, man, I'm gonna prepare as much as I can like I am competing, because if I'm supposed to compete and do good and enjoy this opportunity, God will provide, the Lord will provide. That was my mindset. I was selling that every day to people near me that they're asking if I was gonna compete or not. And anyway, I was training pretty hard. So a week and a half away from the tournament, IBJJF posts a picture of the most favorite ones to win the title, whatever it is, right? and my picture is on it. So it's pretty cool. I don't really care, but it's pretty cool still. So a couple of my students, they see it and they're like, "Oh man, that's pretty cool. We're excited to compete." I'm like, "Man, I'm not even gonna go. Not gonna say anything, but I'm not even gonna go because you know, I don't have the money." And they're like, "What do you mean I don't have the money?" And some of them already knew. They're very close to me, right? This group of students. So I'm like, "Yeah, you know, these bills that I have, and I don't think I can come up with the money. So I'm not gonna, you know, put my name out, but you know, I just not gonna do it." And they're like, "Okay, cool. You know, it's a bummer." And then, you know, a couple hours later, they surprised me, saying that they got me a flight to go to New York City. So that was pretty cool. I was very, very excited. I was like blown away, really. You know what I mean? There's not really anything that I could say to express my gratitude. But what I was even more excited or even more grateful was that God did provide. You know, God did came in last minute and gave me the opportunity that I was working for. And all I could think about when these guys did it, and it was that like, man, I'm so thankful that I trust in God first, but also I'm so thankful that I kept training, because it would suck if I'm like, "Oh man, I can't go, I'm not even training, I'm not even gonna train then, I'm just gonna like be relaxed, and then I have the opportunity and I'm not ready and I'm not prepared." So that's the biggest lesson I take. You know what I mean? A lot of times we ask for things and we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and then we're like, "Man, there's no way, so why would I even try? Why would I even do my best?" And if your motivation to do your best is attached to your goal, to your end goal, you have the wrong perspective, you have the wrong outcome. Your motivation to do your best should be attached to something bigger than a tournament, or bigger than a deadline, than an event. It should be attached to being literally the best version of yourself, and it will go beyond that. It will be just, you know, be something that's part of you, that's part of your personality. You are that kind of person. You are the kind of person that pursues excellence. You are the kind of person that's, you know, trying to be as good as you can in whatever it is that you're trying to do. So anyway, so I got the opportunity to go, right? Everything paid for, hotel, flight, everything paid for. So I'm like, man, I'm very, very grateful. And that's the spirit that I went and traveled to New York City. And I was also, you know, excited to go to New York City because it's my dream to go to New York City since I was a kid. You know, my dad has been talking to me since I was like, I don't know, 5 years old, how America is great and how his dream is to move to America one day. And we were like broke, right? We were poor. So I kept listening to that like it's like a very far away, almost unachievable dream in the future. And then every time I envision America, because of the movies, I envision New York City first, then maybe LA, Hollywood, then maybe like Miami or even Orlando, Florida, because of Disney. But New York City is number one. This is a very stereotypical American city. So that was my dream, and I never had a chance to go ever since I moved over here. So I'm like, man, you know, I really want to go. I got the opportunity to go, and then when I flew out there, and then I'm like looking out the window of the plane, and I see the Statue of Liberty, and I see all these buildings on Manhattan. I'm like, man, this is it. I made it. So my gratitude went up like 10 times because, you know, it was just a dream coming true, really. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because I'm in America for like 8 years now, 8.5 years. And I know I got my green card. I'm on my way to be a citizen in a couple of years. And, you know, I never felt, I wouldn't say I never felt, but it's like a feeling that is just, it feels just as good as getting my green card in a different way. Because when I landed on the plane and we drove in the city, it was just like it hit me. And I'm like, man, I'm here. Like all this time since I'm a little kid, that I'm being like dreaming about this moment, dreaming about being American. This is what America meant to me in my mind as a little kid. And I'm finally made it, and I look around, I see all these buildings, and I go to Times Square, it just filled me with gratitude. So that's the spirit that I went for this sermon. I'm like, man, I don't really care what happens. I got this opportunity for a reason. I know I'm gonna do good. I know I'm gonna perform well. I just want to deliver, have a good performance, and be really grateful for having this opportunity and having the opportunity to live the life I live. And being able to see these places through jiu-jitsu. If I didn't do jiu-jitsu, I wouldn't be in America probably, or at least not living here. Who knows? But I don't think so. I think the chance would be like very slim. So anyway, I went to the tournament, went compete, and I was ready Friday. I went and walked around Times Square, and then I got to bed early because I was going to compete on Saturday. And I think the guy that I'm supposed to fight, he was on the same flight as me from Phoenix to New York City, from Phoenix to Newark, New Jersey. So I don't know why. I don't know where he lives, but I know he's not from Phoenix. At least I don't think so. So anyway, he was on the same flight. So I'm like, okay, he's going, you're going to fight, right? And then he signs up for the open class. So I'm like, okay, cool. First thing in the morning, I'm going to watch his fight to see how he's going to do, because my fight is just like at 2 p.m. or something, 2:30. So I'm going to watch his fight and see how he's going to do, because I couldn't find a lot of footage on him. And then he signs up for the open, and then he doesn't show up. And I'm like, what the hell? So he got DQ from the open, and he got DQ in the Black Belt door. For those that don't know, if you get DQ from the open, you get DQ from the division, right? So then he got DQ for the first day. He couldn't fight, and I go into the tournament. He's there. So I don't know if he didn't know about this rule. I don't know if he was hurt. But if he was hurt, why did he sign up for the open class in the first place? I don't know if he was scared. Maybe I think it might be his first like black belt major. Maybe he was scared and he thought he was gonna get an easier fight at the open, which he was not. So maybe that's why. I don't know. I'm not gonna judge the guy. I just don't know. So he went out there and no show, right? But even though he was there, so I made weight, which was good. Didn't fight. Got rested for day 2, and then I was supposed to fight Patrick Gaudio on day 2. He got hurt on the open class semis on Saturday. So he pulled out of the open class to go and compete on the open class final. He put out on a division so he can go and compete in the open class finals. And then afterwards, I fought Tom Bratcher in the semis. Tom used to be Gracie Barra too. We trained together a couple times, like, I don't know, 7 years ago. And I knew he was gonna be very tough. I like Tom, he's a good guy. He's very tough. He's very skilled, very strong, and but I was able to do pretty good. You know what I mean? I almost took him down a couple times. He ended up taking me down. I swept in, but not enough to score. Then I swept in again, wrestle up, and pass his guard with the system that I've been doing. And then I won that fight 5-2, made it to the finals. And then, like I said, man, it was the time that I was feeling the most connected with God ever. Like. I never do it. I done it a couple times, but I never really do it for the whole tournament. But I was listening to worship music the whole time. I was very connected with God. I was feeling God's presence more than sometimes I feel it at church. And I was like just overwhelmed with emotion. I got emotional during the afternoon and before my finals. I almost cried a couple times because it was so concrete. It was so true that I was gonna go and win. And I'm like, man, this is it, I'm gonna win. I could imagine myself like crying, doing an interview, thanking everybody, and finally winning my major, and like screaming when my hand is being held up. Man, I could imagine the whole thing. And as I was warming up, I was listening to this worship song in Portuguese. And I don't know the translation, it might have an English version, American version too. But I'm listening to this worship song, and it talks about bringing things back to life, and it talks about how God can do all things, and it talks about how God can revive you and reignite that fire within you, and it just fed into what I needed at the moment and what I've been going through for this whole time. So I'm like, I was ready to go, and as I was fighting, I'm like, the fight was tied, like I said, you know, up to 2 minutes, a minute and a half left. And even though my opponent was doing a little bit better than me, he was being a little more aggressive, the margin was not that different. And I was saying like, man, all I need is one chance. All I need is to set up my guard once, and I'll be able to tap in out or to sweep in, or at least score an advantage, or at least do a good attack to win the ref's decision. All I need is one attack. And I was very confident. I was like 100% sure it was gonna happen. And then he didn't, right? A minute and a half left, I made a mistake. He passed my guard, I told him, he choked me. So, and by the way, my opponent is like, he's no bum. Obviously, he made it to the finals. He's very accomplished. He's the current open class world champion. Still, I still thought I was gonna win. I was still 100% confident I was gonna win. So anyway, I lost, and then I was a little disappointed because, again, I was so convicted, right? But then at the end, I look back and I'm like, man, this trip was great. It's just another opportunity to showcase my work, to do what I love, to fight for my dreams, which I did, and have a good performance and have a great trip. But also to strengthen my faith. Like I said, if it wasn't for God providing, and if it wasn't for my students and God touching my students' heart, and all the things that were going bad until they weren't anymore, and all the plans were aligned, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't compete. I wouldn't have this experience, and my faith wouldn't be as strong as it is today. So, my lesson that I take away is trust in God, but also do your part. Be ready for when the opportunity presents itself. And then this is one lesson that I really take it to heart, is that doesn't matter who you're going against, doesn't matter the circumstances when you're there fighting, it's just you and another man. That's it. And all you gotta do is perform, and you have to be 100% sure that you're gonna win. Every single time. Even how hard it looks it's gonna be, even how impossible it looks like it's gonna be, it doesn't matter. You have to believe in yourself 100%, because that's the guarantee of a great performance. So anyway, I got back from New York City Monday. Like I said, I got sick, moving, very busy, very sore, but I'm still very happy. And now I'm gonna fight at Nogi Worlds. I changed my mind, even though I was not planning on it. I changed my mind because I think it's the right thing to do after getting such a good result. So this month I'm training 50-50 gi and no-gi. The next month I'm gonna train full-time no-gi. I go, pedal to the metal, so I can get first place awards, win my first world title. I feel that I'm closer than ever. If I look back, and even posted on my Instagram a couple of days ago, looking back, I'm like, man, I had a dream on the color belts, and especially on the black belt, that I want to win a medal at a Grand Slam tournament. That was my dream. And I could never do it. And then once I did it 2 more times after that. And now that doesn't fulfill me. So I need a bigger dream, or I need to achieve the bigger dream, which is to be a world champion. So very confident that I'm going to do it now. If not now, I'm going to do it soon. And I appreciate everybody's support and follow me on my journey. So if you like this video, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and that's it. All right, so I'll keep you guys updated. I'll do my best to post more here, but until then, make sure to follow me on social media. Keep showing your support. It means a lot. All right, see you next time.